Welcome everyone to the vlog 2 of the Wizarding World Circle of Fate campaign.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. The stage is yours. What would you like to discuss, talk about, muse?
How nice this session was compared to the last one, I
It was
think.
it was pretty wholesome.
Yeah, very
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I think we all assumed in the beginning that Finn was a bad guy, but now I think we all slowly fell in love with him.
It's really hard to have any animosity towards him.
Yeah,
He's such a good guy.
he is, but he's not perfect.
No.
Like, he definitely has his prejudices. And you can argue if it's fair or not. But,
I just keep getting lost in his eyes, honestly. Like just the picture.
yeah, he's a bit of a gentle giant, but he does have some biases. So,
When you say biases, like in general, or like grudges toward Roxy specifically, or what do you?
at the moment, I'm thinking grudges towards Roxy and her family.
Mm.
I don't think Finn definitely does not like Natasha. That might be
Yeah.
something that Roxy can understand. I would say pretty much. I think he doesn't really seem to get along with anyone from the Svets family at all. So, and Roxana is kind of there by association, in his
Yeah.
eyes at least.
She completely gets it, but like at the same time, like I think like most of her anger comes from frustration because she's like, I saved you. Why do you hate me so much? Yeah. And I think that's where most of her anger comes from, is just that frustration.
Yeah, yeah. I think Finn has a problem letting go. So
He's definitely a very interesting addition to the cast.
other characters, NPCs you got to learn a little bit more of this time than you did before. We started learning more about some others. So I don't know if anyone else seemed interesting to learn
Oh
about.
yeah. I forget some of their names, but let me see. There was one in particular. Al's guy friend.
Nico.
Yeah.
Nico.
Yeah. I like him and like his like attitude towards like feeling like he doesn't really need to train. I wonder if that's
Right.
gonna like bite him in the butt. And like when we start, it's like he doesn't get his full like points that he usually does. Like I wonder how that's gonna turn out.
Yeah, I love Nico to bits, but yes, he's very arrogant when it comes to things he believes he's good at. So
I was just gonna say, I think it's neat that if each of us had like a best friend, you've got 2 on the one team and 2 on the other. So like this whole alliance idea is gonna get really messy because it's not gonna work out that everyone's on board. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the only people, like judging from who we've interacted with, the only person who would have a problem with it would be Finn, and that's only because of Roxana.
But Finn's not on the team that we would potentially do the alliance with.
right,
However, if
Finn is on the other team. Yeah,
Juan and Levi, they may not want to make an alliance with the Horned Serpent because Nyla and Chase are on the other team. Chance, sorry. So I don't know.
Because we haven't brought it up with them, so it's like,
yeah.
I was waiting for it to be brought up because I don't think Levi would like the idea at all, regardless of who's on whose team. Like he would want to win, like fair, kind of.
That is definitely going to be probably the first thing that will happen in the next session is what that discussion about the alliance before we actually begin the event. So I would prefer that we save that for in character, that you guys don't discuss amongst yourselves how your characters are feeling about it, but feel free to think about what your character would say or how they would react to it. And when we actually meet again, we'll do it in character, that discussion. So
Yeah, because I remember thinking that if it gets brought up, Levi had some thoughts about it that he was going to bring up.
yeah. But I think this whole competition, like, that is part of the strategy. There's no rules against making alliances at all, so you get to decide how you want to play this. So I'm curious to see what the characters end up deciding.
Yeah, because even if you make an alliance, your alliance could just get you second place. So it's not like it's guaranteed to help you win.
Right. But if for whatever reason you see a team that you perceive to be the biggest threat,
Right.
it is a strategy to consider to even the playing field a little bit, so to speak.
Yeah. My heart goes out to Tobias. I didn't know he was getting made fun of, and then
God, it
that
melts my heart.
yeah, that was kind of rough. The ad was hilarious, Hark. I don't know how you came up with that, but
Yeah, I read it to Colin, and he would thought it was absolutely entertaining. It sounded like if SNL ever did like a sketch comedy, like some sort of Harry Potter parody sketch, that would be something. Um, I debated on whether or not to include it because I didn't want anyone to think I was being disrespectful of the Harry Potter lore. It's all in good fun. So
Yeah.
if anyone is a little offended about that, I'm sorry. I thought it was a clever idea.
it was
And
funny. It was a good time.
this campaign is not meant to be like this is more of a campaign that's made for young adults or older and not for like the 10-year-old, 10, 11, 12-year-old story, Harry Potter story. It's a bit more mature than that. And so I thought this was, fair game just to poke a little fun because realistically, to be perfectly honest, I'm sure that this is something in the wizarding world where you have people who are not as good at magic and they might like this would be a product that was marketed that I'm sure could be useful to some people who think that it might help boost their ability to cast magic. And so I think that while, yes, there were some funny moments in there, we did touch on wizards who are older. We touched on wizards who are in a pure blood family, and therefore there's a lot of pressure as a pure blood wizard to be superior at magic, but that's not always the case. And so that's why something like Mage Agra, I can realistically actually see being a thing if you were hypothetically were to believe that the wizarding world exists in real life.
Oh, it's totally perfect, and I can't wait for Levi to get some of that.
Yeah, you definitely could.
I'm ordering it. I don't know how.
You're ordering some
I'm gonna
Mage Agra.
Yeah, I'm sending it in. I'm getting this. We're gonna see it in action, guys.
Nice. Excellent. All right. Well, we will see how that works out for you.
Yeah, but then when you found out that it was like Toby felt like they were making fun of him. That was like, because I don't know, Toby's just so cool, but like thinking about it, it's like a kind of a high school, and he's like a prime target to be made fun of. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like when I went to school, it was kids like him that got made fun of a lot. So like, it's not. I think it's definitely realistic that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, James is gonna get.
Oh yeah,
take care
yeah.
of it.
I have a plan for James. I want to see where that goes. I want to see where that goes.
It's a random character that we've just brought to life.
Yeah. Oh, James is number one villain now. He's the big bad of the campaign.
Yes. It's an unfortunate social issue that's in the Wizarding campaign that I wanted to, again, revisit in different ways because it's a story that, yes, is in the books too, but I wanted to expand it a little bit and explore different characters experiencing this sort of prejudice in different ways. Because with Toby, I mean, yes, he's a Jewish character, but that's not the reason why he's being made fun of. He's not being made fun of because he's Jewish or anything. It's because of his speech impediment, it's harder for him to cast spells that have verbal components naturally. And so how do you cope with that when traditionally in the wizarding world, most spells, unless you train for it, most spells are verbal. And if you have someone who can't speak very well, it's tough. So
What is his bloodline? Is he pure blood, half blood?
He's half blood.
yeah. He's half.
Yeah, and I guess the segue I was going into is like, is anybody else surprised how like Rox is like how nice she is?
Well, correction, she's only nice to Toby.
I don't know. She's a little nice to Levi there at
She
the
was
end.
really nasty to Levi.
Well, the reason is like the difference is in this interaction when she called him Snowflake, his reaction wasn't like to roll with it. The first thing he said was, "Oh, you're making fun of the color of my skin like everyone else." And immediately she was like, "Oh, Shit. So, like, the thing, like, one of Roxy's biggest mantras is, like, you own your mistakes. Like, if you mess up, like, at least pay for it, you know, like, have that honesty. Because, like, you know, part of her zodiac thing is to be honest. So she's like, yeah, I will own that. So she apologized. And she did say, like, I don't know if I like you, but I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I felt like she was nice, but yeah, she was kind of very mean to Levi. So
yeah,
but
there were
it's to
other
be
times that she called
expected.
you stupid, said you were built like a brick shit house.
That's a compliment in my book. That's
Said
one
she'd
of the
rather
compliments.
said she'd rather like shit in her hands and clap than kiss you. Like, she's pretty awful.
I think where we see Roxy come around is when that moral compass comes into play.
Mhm.
It kind of grounds her a little bit. Like, yes, she likes the fun. Yes, she's a little bit chaotic, but I think deep down her moral compass swings back in and pulls her down in those moments, at least from my perspective.
Yeah.
One thing I'm looking forward to is I think that with Roxana's character, we're seeing so many layers of her. And with a character like Levi, we saw his other layer back in the past. We saw Levi at the Ministry of Magic, who is very different from this Levi. It'll be interesting. Hopefully, we'll see it sooner than later when we eventually, at some point, we see Levi, maybe something happens that causes him to revert back. Even if it's just temporarily, revert back to the original Levi that we met at the Ministry. Because I think that will be a really interesting layer to explore when that Levi comes back.
Yeah,
Bit, at least.
There's definitely been situations I thought of that was like, if this certain things happen, then old Levi, I call him old Levi. Old Levi comes back, and then but most of the time he does, be this new Levi. But yeah, there's been certain situations where I'm like, if this happens, or if this happens, or if there's different things that could happen that could bring it out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think the next events are? I was thinking about the next events. Those are the ones I like, because I know that the Russian school was known for their tree thing, so like it was natural for that to be, and like it makes me nervous what the next ones are, because like the Japanese one, is that going to be like are we gonna have to do like the karate thing his mom was doing, or are we gonna have to like, what are we doing? And then in Africa, are we like, what is it? It's so like hard for me to even think about what they could possibly be.
So here's my theory. I'm thinking, because like they have a theme for each school. So like Waldorfstraats, obviously that's Quidditch, because that's what like their most unique aspect is. With Wagadu, it'd probably have something to do with transfiguration, transforming into something. Maybe there's like some sort of maybe there's like some sort of challenge which requires us to sort of take on the form of like our Patronuses or something. Like maybe become sort of like an animagus, but it's temporary.
I think we're gonna have to fight a big animal, or like get something from a big animal's lair or something.
Yeah.
Like the eggs, like the dragon egg thing that they had to do. Like I feel like there's gonna be like a big African animal that like we don't know what it is, and we have to like try to get something from their cave or something.
And as for Mohotokoro, it would probably be some sort of intellectual challenge, some kind of test.
Oh, like, I didn't even think about that.
Like, you know how the house sorting in Wagadu has you do all these physical trials, but I think this one's sort of kind of going to be in like some sort of temple, and you like solve puzzles to get to the next section.
Oh no.
I can definitely see there being some sort of like relay, and that everyone on the team plays a different role, but like you have to have a specialty almost. Like someone might have to solve some sort of mental puzzles, and then when they're done, like the next person can go like a linear challenge where each person takes on a different role.
As for Castle Brusher, I'm not quite sure what to expect.
I feel like we're going into the jungle for sure. Like there's something in the jungle. It's gonna be like a maze. We're gonna have to find our way out or something.
I obviously can't answer the question fully. But what I will say is that the events are designed specifically so that they are all diverse. So just because one person can shine in one doesn't necessarily mean that they'll shine in the other. So that's why the events will be very diverse. Jordan is 100% correct that thematically, a lot of it will be based on the actual, like, a representation of that country. So it obviously, because Koldovsores is known for their very unique Quidditch sport. The other thing is, when I'm designing the events, I was also looking at not only the PCs, but the NPCs and what they are good at. And I tried to design across all 4 of the events, specific events that specific NPCs will be able to shine. And so all of the skill sets that I've been kind of dropping in and hinting, this person is good at this person is good at that. You can probably bet that some event at some point, that skill set will give them an advantage at some point. So just, something to think about and consider when you're guessing on what these events are going to be about.
Yeah, I can't even think about, like, I was trying to think, like, this literally the whole session, like, what's the next one? Because I know this one's Quidditch, so, like, but, what would have happened if, like, we would have picked the different schools first? Like, are you, like, the way you have it set up, was it okay to, like, go to any one first? Or was there, like, a order you were kind of looking for?
Not really. Like, I already have planned out what the 4 different events are. So based on dice rolls, that determined what the order was, because it didn't really matter what order you went. So
okay.
So yeah, like, the plan was you would get to all 4. I already know what the 4 are. It was just determining the order.
So is it based on, like, a point system? Like, if you get first place, your team gets X amount of points, second gets points, etc.?
Correct. Yes. So yes, it is a point system. Correct.
I keep wondering, because I imagine we'll have to do lots of broom riding rolls. Like, if one of us falls from our broom,
you might get injured, and you might have to go see Mr. Chogan, who also, I didn't get a chance to showcase him much, but Chogan has a very interesting backstory, and I'm sure you'll get to hear it at some point. But it's hard because there's so many characters, and for the banquet, like, I'm glad that I was able to give you guys the freedom to talk to whoever you want, because there's a lot of people, and there's plenty of people that you haven't really spoken much to, but I'll try to put in more opportunities again for you to try to talk to other people and maybe get to know them more and learn more about them. But Chogan is definitely somebody that I want to touch on at some point, but I'm sure you will. So maybe that's a motivation to fall off your broom.
I just throw myself off my broom.
More character growth. Oh, I fall off.
Yeah, it's definitely the more, I think, what's the word? Reserved, quiet characters are very interesting. Like, oh goodness, the girl from Castle Brucho.
Oh, Tritessa.
Like, Tritessa and
she's
Chisa
interesting.
And like all of.
Yeah, Chessa, there's been limited interaction with Chessa. And again, I get it, because she's intimidating. But you're starting to see a little bit more of her as you interact with her, so we'll see.
I just want to say I love how when Juan gets nervous in a social interaction, he just leaves. It's so telling. It's really cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Juan was technically it wasn't a full lie. It's just he really thinks that Tritessa is, like, very cute and handsome, but yeah, she wasn't the first person that popped into his mind. That's all I'm gonna say.
That means it's a lie.
Would he have picked Nyala if Levi hadn't? Like, I wasn't sure if he only changed or lied because Levi just said her.
No, he wouldn't have said anything. Like, he wouldn't have said Nyla. Never, ever, ever.
Is that his pick, though? Is that his pick? We know, but is that his pick?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. I was, like, trying to decide if he was going to say Naila or no, don't. But after she said that Levi had cute eyes, that
Ah.
that broke and like, nope, I'm not saying anything. No, let's.
No,
Yeah.
Levi,
That's
you
the
ruin
thing.
everything.
I don't mean to.
Wait till
Oh.
Levi comes back in front of the group and tells Albion that Nyala said Albion, and then Juan's just even more sad.
Oh no,
Oh.
that's so sad.
Yeah,
Um,
he's gonna be really depressed.
What would
Hey,
Juan
why
have
would he be
done?
depressed? He doesn't even like her.
What would
Yeah,
Juan
you're
have
right.
done if Roxana called him out and was like, "You're lying"?
I would probably get even more nervous and be like, "I'm not lying." Like,
You
we
are
would try-
lying.
No, like because again, if he got caught lying, he wouldn't feel bad because of the lie. He would feel bad because that will make Troitesa feel bad, at least in his head. So he will try to defend that lie not because of him, but because of what could.
How
make
could
Tristessa
Tristessa feel bad? Half the school thinks she's the hottest girl.
Yeah, I know. But
There's no way she could feel bad. Everybody
She's
thinks
like, I don't even
Tristessa.
like you anyway.
Like, dude, do you not see all these guys who think I'm cute?
Exactly.
One less guy who doesn't think I'm the cutest isn't going to hurt her very much.
That's true. So yeah, that's what happened in that scene.
So, did anybody think that the Finn line that Juan is really cute was interesting?
Oh, you caught that, didn't you?
Mhm.
That was really
Mhm.
interesting.
Oh
but
no!
Does
gonna
anybody
Caught
think
that.
that's
The
kind of
ship
interesting?
cannot sail.
no, he's my friend. We're best buddies.
I
At least
don't
more
know.
than
He thinks
Levi.
you're pretty cute, dude. He thinks you're pretty cute.
Albion caught it, but purposely said nothing because he didn't want that topic to continue.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense for Al. Yeah.
That makes sense for Al. Yeah.
I was very particular with Finn's responses during that conversation because Finn definitely was like, I want to keep who I like private. So
Ooh.
Oh no, we're gonna get
Oh,
all the
no.
way when Roxana's like, "I like you, Finn," and or like one of the girls is like, "I like you, Finn." He's like, no.
Can I can you actually
I don't
get
swing
Juan's
that
number
way.
for me? Because
we don't know necessarily. We don't know. So,
Yeah, we don't know. But Juan
We don't
did
know.
invite him to meet his parents and to go dinner with.
oh, it's
Fuck!
all starting to make sense
I
now.
remember that now.
Wait,
Yeah.
what happened? What happened?
He invited Finn to come to his house to meet his parents and like
Yeah.
eat Mexican food and stuff.
And
yeah.
Finn was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah, that sounds
We're-
cool."
we're
So
bros.
Oh my
We're bros.
I
god!
think
Oh,
somebody's
no.
leading someone on.
Oh, let's.
Oh,
no, I don't
no.
want to be Al. I
You're
don't
just as
want
bad
to
as
be
Al.
You're just
I'm
like
not as
"Ah."
bad as Al. Al is way worse. Okay?
Okay, so Juan can have Finn and Levi can have Naila.
No, that can never happen.
Still early. It's still early. The door is still open. None of the doors have been closed yet. So
Levi is like. Then
Chance
again,
and Chessa could still be a thing. It could be Chansa.
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 I like that.
Yes.
I feel like redoing this scene just like made the romance like options expand.
yeah, like
I think that's what
Exactly.
Brandon wanted.
Let the
It's
shit
like
stale,
everyone-
man. We got to make it go.
It's
Everyone
literally
can
like
pick
your
a shit
dialogue
now.
wheel showed up, and you gotta pick who you want to romance.
I feel like now we need to have a fantasy romance bracket now too. Like,
Yeah. Who ends up with who you get
Oh my
points?
God.
take bets,
Like, people
take bets
put
on which
bets
ship
on-
sail. That's true.
Oh,
Like
yes,
take
we-
bets on which ship sail, and you can submit up to like 3 ships a person and see what
mean-
happens.
Don't pick Levi for any of them, guys.
We call it Dream Wizard instead of Dream
Dream
Dragon.
Wizard.
Yes.
I'm all for Roxana and Toby.
Oh,
Like,
Okay.
really?
Rock
So
Toby.
you know the way that Roxana
What are you
was
talking about?
Toby.
Try
That's
Toby.
that's
Try
Trisa's girl. Boy.
I thought Roxy was gonna say Toby, even if she didn't want, like, even if it was just to make him feel good or boost his reputation. I thought she was gonna say him for sure. So when you said Finn, I was more shocked you didn't say Toby than I was that you did say Finn.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked too. Yeah.
Roxana lied like Juan did. I'm 100%
I don't
sure,
know. Did she?
but I didn't want
Did
to,
she?
to roll.
Nobody did. I think it was the way Juan reacted that made everybody like, wait, what? Whereas like Roxy lied and Levi lied.
Levi also lied.
Did you lie too? Oh.
We're all
What?
about to lie.
Oh my god.
All of us
Re-
lied.
Brandon, just an FYI, if you did lie, that required a deception. If you did.
Oh, even if they didn't. Well, then
Yeah, that
Jordan
still
needs to roll
requires a
too.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Let's see if we know
Oh,
that you're
shit.
lying.
Time to reshoot the scene.
No, we can just roll it here and then see if anybody picked it
I
up.
want to roll observation with them.
Yeah, if any of you did lie, I do need you to roll a deception.
Sorry
my
about
bad.
that.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
I can.
is
That's
it?
fine. With the magic of editing, I could still include this.
Magic of editing.
Yay.
Thank God Hark's so good at this. What is it called? No.
Plus 2.
No.
11 for Roxana.
Nice. Well, you already rolled your conceal, Mr. Clef. You already did it.
No, I know. I want to observe.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy. Clef
Okay.
knows we were both lying.
I'm gonna
Oh,
say
no.
that. Yeah, Juan will know you're both lying.
You're so,
Well.
Roxana is so going down because she's a snitch and she tells Toby that
She
Juan
is
was
a
lying.
snitch.
A
Snitch
total
Roxy
snitch.
strikes again.
Oh no. Roxy, what happened, girl? What happened?
You're normally so good at this, but apparently not.
Juan is very good at knowing who's lying because he lied so hard.
Oh no.
Okay, so
It's
guys,
so
I
funny.
really want to know. I don't know if after this you have to tell me.
Do you want me to
After
tell
the
you what the
vlog?
other? Do you want me to tell you how the other NPCs would have answered?
Yeah.
Would
Yes. If
Yes.
we can get
Yes,
that info,
please.
yes.
So what I do like is that Levi specified opposite sex. So I will
Yeah.
answer as if they said opposite sex. So with Chessa, I'm going to say Chessa's going to say Aika.
Ooh.
Chessa's
They would
going
be
to say
a power
Aika.
couple. Their children would be like
Oh,
the smartest
yeah.
people ever and like the most gorgeous people ever.
Educate's really hard. I have to be honest. I'm on it.
Oh, let's see what Toby says. This is the one that
Oh
matters.
my god, yeah.
Toby.
Uh-oh.
Between
Triessa now.
Tritessa,
Please do Roxana. Please
Naila,
do
Roxana. Toby is actually going to say Chessa.
Damn.
Toby's gonna say Chessa.
Yes.
Toby's going to say
Get it,
Chessa.
Toby. Get it,
Chessa's
Toby.
really pretty.
Chessa is
Chessa's
really
very, very pretty. And then
really-
for Finn,
Rocks.
Imagine if Finn said Roxana, that'd be so
Please,
hilarious.
rock.
He would
Rock.
never. He hates me.
No.
he
Yeah.
doesn't.
No,
He wouldn't. Right now, I don't think you're very attractive to him, so I don't
No.
think honestly he would. He would not
Thanks.
honestly say Roxana.
Just say like Triessa with
Finn.
the rest of us.
Finn would also say Chessa. Finn would
Hell
also say
yeah.
Chessa.
So
Yeah.
we're all divided between Chessa and Tritessa.
There's a lot of Chessa and there's a lot of S's.
Lots of
Yes.
S's.
So yeah, Juan totally lied, and now it seems that every single one of
Yeah.
us lied.
Yeah, we did. Roxana lied and Levi lied. I suppose, like, you guys probably wouldn't tell us. Oh, well, we already know Juan's answer, but Brandon, what would Levi have said if he wasn't a liar?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to play that out, huh? We're gonna see if
Dang.
Clef comes and talks to
You're
him.
telling me. If it isn't on the blog, you're telling me. And so are you, Jordan.
Okay. Oh man.
So about
I'm trying to
interesting.
like picture in my head like when Roxana lied, how that would have looked. I suppose it's just like it looked like she just picked some random person because she went, I don't know, that guy, I guess, and it just didn't seem genuine. Like that's how I picture it.
Finn. That's the most interesting thing that I
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
when you picked Finn, I wasn't sure that you were lying because
Yeah.
I was like, it's very weird that the guy she got into a super fight over his brother and that she would admit. That really ticked me off as weird. And
Because
I just
Well-
believed it instantly because I shipped them so hard. So
here's the thing, right? When I was thinking about it, because like the way that it was going through Roxana's head, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to say anyone here because
Mhm.
like, why would I do that?
Mhm.
I can't say who I
Because
really want to
you're
say
honest.
because that's what? No, you can't be honest. So it's like, if I pick Finn, not only is it like people will stop thinking like, why do they hate each other so much? It could just
Mhm.
be like, oh, Finn doesn't like her because she's a prankster. But Roxy
well, that was
thinks
your
Finn is fine.
ex-boyfriend, so of course, like,
But the
sounds
thing is,
attractive.
and the thing is, because she knows Levi, if Levi like ran over and was like, "Hey, she still likes you," then then Roxana would have been like, "Oh, he's lying."
Yeah.
It's
okay,
like, I didn't
so
say that.
wait. Now that Juan knows that Levi was lying, okay, he's cool with
Uh
him.
huh.
He's
Oh,
cool
so
with
he
him
hated
again.
him again.
Okay.
He didn't
I mean,
hate
I
him.
wish Roxana cared, but she doesn't. She's just so like self-absorbed. It's like, meh, whatever.
We'll see how that works out because again when I pick out NPCs because I know players, some players, especially last campaign, romanceable characters is important to them, and so I try to make a lot of the characters available to be romanceable, and we will see what certain characters' preferences are and who actually forms a connection.
And if we could go back to the last session when I said she had a cute nose, she smiled at me.
She did. She
Oh
did.
no.
I'm keeping these mental notes.
No, I noticed that too. But then again, she also bonded with Roxana too. So
I mean,
I mean,
very true, very true. But
She
she's
seems to
taken. She
really-
has Toby and then her ex-boyfriend Finn. Like,
Dude.
Roxy does have some cute boys in her
I have
school.
so many cute. Oh my
You do
god.
have some cute boys.
Speaking of like romance, is there any like ships that have started?
all of them.
Wait, are we
Well-
talking the ones Levi's trying to imagine in his brain, or like real ships?
Let's
Like
get
ships
it.
you as a player like want to see.
I know the ship that Asa is hoping is sailing. Asa definitely has some shipping in her head right now. Poor
It's
thing.
so sad. Oh, honey.
Yeah, it's building up for a big crash, probably.
Dude, it's gonna be really upsetting when it inevitably happens.
Well, and like out of character, I'm not purposely trying to set her up. I'm really trying to think what would Albion do, and
Yeah.
he would be nice, but like he's not going to approach it first. I don't think, unless it gets to the point where like he just can't anymore, and then he'll say something.
When she goes in for the kiss, that's when he decides to bring it up. Yeah, about that. You're not my type.
Well, you don't have to answer this question, but oh no, I won't answer the question. I was gonna ask, does Albion like have an eye for anyone? But maybe that's better to just keep that for right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think right now he's looking for anything like a relationship because he's still got this like burden he's holding on to. I'm sure he's looked at a few of the guys and be like, oh, like he's cute, but I don't think he's like actively like, oh, like I want to pursue something with this person. However, if it naturally happens, then I don't think he'd be against it.
There's also Levi's dads.
Yeah. Yeah, I ship my dads together and just them. Leave my dads alone. I mean, it's almost impossible not to ship Roxana and Toby. Like, it's literally impossible. I
love them so
also
much.
kind of ship Roxana and Finn. Like, I don't know if it was me just calling, like,
Yeah.
So am I actually.
like the way, like, go ahead.
That tension.
There was a
between
little
the two of them.
tension, and then like there was a point where they were civil together, and I was like, I can see this working out. I can see this working out.
Mhm.
Because like, I don't get me wrong, I love Roxana X Toby, but like I don't know if I prefer it like platonically or romantically, but definitely
like brother and sister.
yeah,
More like a
I'm
brother and
not quite.
sister.
She's all I know is like she's very very protective of this person,
Yeah.
and she has very strong feelings. But like with Finn, oh my god, that would be such an interesting
I
romance.
kind of ship them together. I really do, because like I don't know, there was a point where you guys were just cool with each other, and I was like, I can see this working out.
Well, again, I don't think this is necessarily what Clef was intending, but I thought it was interesting that of all of the other NPCs that Juan randomly, I think, started becoming closer with was Finn. He specifically was like, I want to go talk to Finn. And I was just, unfortunately, Clef's not here because I did want to ask him, of all of the NPCs, why Finn in particular. So I thought that would be interesting to find out when
think
he's
like knowing what I know about Juan, it was like, okay, so Roxana's told me be careful of this person. I've gone and spoken to him because like that's where my brother was. So like when he wasn't intending to go over to speak to him, but when he did, he's like, be careful of her, and he's like, okay, what's going on here? There's something off. Because when I spoke to him, and I think what stood out to him is he was nice to his brother, which means a lot to Juan. So it's like, well, this guy can't be all bad. He's nice to my baby bro. So
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Whenever Albion pulled you aside and was like trying to plant the seeds of that alliance, like I'm just curious where her suspicion came from. Like, did she feel like he was on the Levi bus of like, oh, you guys are okay? I wasn't.
Yeah, because she thought he was going to hit on her.
You thought Al was going to hit on her?
Yeah. Because she was like,
New ship, Al and Roxana. Oh, my phone just.
or like either that, or just like she wasn't quite sure if it was that, or just like Al was trying to be gossipy. So she was like, ugh, I don't have time for this. Like, her relationship with him is a very private thing and a very personal thing. So like, well, sorry, you go.
No, I see that.
What do people think about the scene with the hoop?
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. I think each hoop has a different power attached to it.
Yeah, maybe it's more powerful too if you match it with who their sign is.
You think there's more of them out there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
More?
Probably
There's
about
like
12.
12, you say?
All together.
I think it's interesting that they don't seem to have any connection to the person's zodiac, though, because
I think it gets more powerful, or maybe you could control it better or something.
Right, but it's not exclusive. I mean, we saw Miwa was keeping the Leo. We don't know what it does. But I can guarantee you someone probably is out to collect all of them, because I imagine with other Harry Potter lore, getting every artifact together of a set can provide someone with quite a variety of power.
So I have a crazy theory. It could just like sort of work like if you remember, if anyone's seen Dragon Age Season 2, the braces, how like they could work for you, but they work better for their owners. Maybe it's like that. Like there's more potential if you give them to the person whose star sign it's associated with.
Well, we can't test that theory yet because, well, unless Juan gives his to whoever the Sagittarius was.
Because Roxana knows all about this. She's got to talk to him about it.
I mean, well, Nyala is the Sagittarius, and Juan and Nyala are friends. So if he makes that connection, I could see him. I don't know. She's pretty smart. She might also have some input. But I think they need to be careful who they tell.
Yeah.
Juan knows this. Out of character, this may or may not be relevant, but Naila, she is a whiz in astronomy.
Oh.
Naila's a whiz in astronomy.
I think we need to take the ring to her, guys. I need to put a ring on that.
It was interesting to see like how the different personalities reacted to news that was that heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Levi's reaction is, "Oh, I'm gonna try and continue making jokes, try and keep everyone's spirits up." Yeah, Roxanne's kind of speechless.
I do like that AJ was comfortable enough to share some of that information to this group of people he just met. So
Yeah, I didn't want to just like blurt it, so I don't know if you guys noticed I was being vague at first, but then once you guys like I had no problem, because I think he feels like at this point if he holds it in, like he's not going to get anywhere. If he can get some help, or if if he has to be a little vulnerable to let Juan talk about it and give him more information, then he's going to do that. It does bring up a good question of whether Juan's father was protecting the hoop, kind of like I assume Miwa might have been, or if he had obtained the hoop for evil purposes. Because I mean, obviously we saw the Death Eaters were after them, so does he have any ties to that, or was he protecting it?
There's like
I'm excited to hear the letter back from Rox's brother to see if her father was in Japan ever.
Because he can't lie to me. So like, yeah, I'm really curious to see. And he's like, "Yeah, we were both there," and I was like, "Fuck."
I'd be curious to see how Roxy would handle that in terms of what she would tell Albion.
Yeah, I think I might keep that to myself. Because
I think initially that would make sense, but I do feel like Albion felt like her feelings towards hearing about his mother were genuine. So,
because I wanted to go as far as to say like, I know what it feels like to lose a parent, but like she doesn't quite know what it's like. She's like experienced loss in a different way. So it's like, it's not really my place to comment, especially when he might have killed her. Just saying.
I think I misspoke when I said a couple months ago. It was actually a couple years ago. So if I said months, we just have to know it was like 2 years ago.
Oh, it's one thing like interesting, and like I don't know if Roxana would be familiar with who Fenrir Greyback is. Or, is that his name, Fenrir Greyback? But Levi described him.
Yeah.
So like, I imagine he's pretty. I imagine he's pretty notorious, but like, I wonder if
I want him
any
dead.
of us.
Guys, I want him dead.
Nice.
And
the thing about like the Harry Potter lore too is like they're not 100% sure if he died or didn't die or was captured or not. So he could still be alive. Like when you look him up, like he was never confirmed captured or dead. So I'm looking for him though. So if you guys see that guy, let me know.
look at Hawk's evil little grin.
I was gonna say, now that our characters know about the hoops, like maybe we should be like keep an eye out if we see others, because I don't know, it is suspicious. Like we've got this whole competition decided by zodiac sign, and then my gut and Toby's confirmation let us know that these two hoops are somehow connected to the zodiac as well. So I feel like we'd probably be like, like if we see any other champions with them, we should.
Can I see your wand? I just want to examine.
Just let me see your wand for just a sec.